still in Jerusalem. Hopefully next week we will get into Judea, and we will talk about what the Lord is doing in our state. I'm going to focus in on 7 areas tonight, but before we do, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to talk about the ministries that I know better and kind of fill in the blanks with some things that you may or may not be aware of, what the committees do. But before we talk about these, what do I do with the paper? Oh, they're right there. Jared, you had your exercise today? We'll give everybody one of these, okay? Now, when you come back, you might as well go ahead and get one of these because they're going to need them at the same time, okay? All right. All right, while he's passing those out, this has to do with dads. I plan on sharing this at the associational meeting tomorrow night. There's 3 things that I'm going to speak to at the association. One is the tent revival. The other churches will get in and support it. The other thing is the West Virginia ministry. And Doc, did you get my note? I need a copy of the list that we give out. I've got it on my phone, but I need a hard copy to take to the association with me on that. Can you find me one? There's some back there somewhere. But anyway, and then I'm going to be talking about dads, and I'm going to share with them the same thing I'm sharing with you, okay? Again, you're not going to know these numbers. I'm going to read them out to you anyway. Since 2014, dads' individual donations have run around 70,000. This year is 73,000. One donor usually gives to make up the difference for the dad's operation and the whole budget, which is about 140,000, and that is 54,000. Now, this donor is not from the Orangeburg area; they're actually from the Charleston area. And then there's about 20,000. Well, let me see. Making sure that's 10,000 that has been given as donation from churches. As of right now, there are only 3 churches in the entire Orangeburg Association that gives regularly to dads. Okay? We have a shortfall as of right now. Of course, we're not at the end of the year, but we've taken in $71,000, and the budget is $147,000. That's the expense budget. The shortfall is $75,000, and we don't know how much the individual donor will be given, and we're hoping that'll come through help. Now, what you should have in front of you, or we'll have in just a minute, is the operation of dads. The word means dazzle, because they wanted to give young ladies in our community an opportunity to dazzle their eyes and let them know that they amount to something, especially when they're facing the crisis of an unwanted pregnancy. Okay? If you want to, you can wait for a minute. Let's go to this first. I just want to read the current year-to-date that you have in front of you. For this year, they have seen 395 clients. So there have been that many visits. They have counseled 6. They have provided 237 pregnancy tests, out of which 182 were positive. They have given 79 ultrasounds, and our own Daphne is the only nurse that does that, right, Daphne? She is the only nurse that performs the ultrasounds on these ladies. And it, by the way, all I'm giving you is totally free of charge. There's nothing ever charged for any of these people that come in. Then you'll see that the at-risk clients that walked in was 171. Now, what does that mean? That the ladies that walked in there who were pregnant was considering abortion. Okay? 137 of them changed their mind. And we kind of think that that is tremendous results. There was 5 rededication or salvation experiences. The gospel was presented by someone on that staff, which would be Evelyn, Daphne, or Candace, the 3 ladies that work in the office there. Was presented 256 times. Of the clients that they saw, 34 committed to abstinence. And then there was STI appointments, 73 STI appointments. which means tested for venereal disease, and I block those figures out purposely because I don't think that's really public business, knowing what went on. You can see one came in, but as far as the rest of the information, I block that out. Now you'll also see on the bottom of this picture, because we care statistics. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that's basically the children's boutique, right?
That is, because we care is another thing that is offered once a month to any woman in the community that can get the used clothing, diapers, wipes, and all.
They can come in once a month and choose at the store free of charge, right?
And then the boutique though is, that is where the girls who earn their baby books in parenting class can shop. So when we gather clothes that year for Christmas that are brand new items, that's put in the boutique where they have earned their time putting in with parenting class to be able to buy this.
They are always in need of babies' items, new stuff, but specifically Pampers and new baby items, like things like that. They're always in need of those. Then you will see the parenting classes, the total number of attendants in 2019 was 176. The total individual clients that came in, not as families, was 23. Okay. Now, just as I said a moment ago, only 3 churches in our area gives regularly. Help is needed. Help is needed. They have 2 motives of raising money. One is gifts and donations from churches and individuals, and the other one, which is involved around the walk, which our church sponsored, a bronze walk, $250. And the other one is the banquet, and that's going to be coming sometime around May. So remember that if you will. All right, any questions about this that you have? Pray. I also would like to mention a need. I came on, this is my 2nd year on the board. It's supposed to be a 3-year stint. But our board has whittled down to about 4 people. We had 7, but several have had to resign. Miss Edna Abraham, who works at the hospital, has had to resign because of health issues. Her back will not allow her to do it. And Reverend, what's Brother Battle's first name? David. Reverend David Battle, who pastors the Cameron Southern Methodist Church, he had to resign because he had to take over duty at his convention. So anyway, we are in need of people who would be willing to sit on the board. So if you're interested, you feel like this is something that you would like to be a part of, or you can see me and I can get you an application and we can go from there. We meet quarterly as of right now, so that's only 4 days out of the year that we would meet, but you're tied up around the time of the walking, you're tied up around the time of the budget. The banquet. Any questions on that? Pray for dads. Pray for dads. And pray as I share this with the churches tomorrow night. Joyce Yarborough, who's the director, has given me 4 days, and I want to try to find more pastors who will allow her to come into the church on Sunday morning for 5 minutes, get up and share about the needs of dads. Okay? Huh? Yeah, that is. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll make some more copies before I leave tonight. Okay, so that's kind of old news, what we talked about as far as dads last time. Let me share with you some other ministries that are going on that I know about. Okay? 7 areas of ministry in the local area. The first one is the bereavement ministry. Now, everybody knows about the bereavement ministry, but a lot of people don't know how it operates, okay? Basically, we have 3 people. Yeah, I think they work under the guise of the WMU. And usually, the ones who does the serving, I think, is Betty Furtick, Rosetta Staley, Jean Hooker, and Pat. You help out too, right? Okay. So Pat helps out too, so 4, okay? Anytime there's a death in our church, these are the ones who lines up feeding the family, okay? They feed up to 25 or around that number of anybody who's a member of our church who has a death in the immediate family, or anybody who comes to our church on a regular basis. They minister to them, okay? Now, they do a tremendous job, but where do they get the money? Well, I think the WMU helps out. Judy, don't y'all help out with the bereavement or not?
Ms. Rosetta can answer that.
Huh?
Take that out of our treasury.
Do what?
Money comes out of our treasury, WMU.
WMU Treasury, right, okay, so the money comes out of WMU Treasury, of which y'all collect $2 a month per person.
And if we ever,
About once a year, whenever we run low, we ask for $10.
Right, I was gonna mention that, I was gonna mention that.
we got.
So anyway, that's how they get ministered to, and, you know, that's where the money comes from. The WMU backs it, but when they run low, if you would like to give or donate $10, I dropped off an envelope, I don't know what happened to it. But on the envelope, you will see 3 opportunities for giving, and one says missions, the other says regular expense, and then all you have to do is put there that you want it to go to the bereavement committee. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All you have to do is put right there by missions, put the amount, put bereavement committee, and it will go to the bereavement committee. It's okay? That's how the bereavement committee operates. Now, there are times and there are occasions when there's somebody in the community that dies that I'm ministering to that doesn't have any church connection whatsoever. They've been very gracious, and I would go to them and I would tell them, you know, this family doesn't have any church. And the ladies have been very good about fixing meals. And sometimes we spread the word around, and other people will contribute to this just by fixing a meal and bringing it in for the family of those that we're trying to minister to that doesn't have any church connection whatsoever. And that does happen from time to time. Any questions about the bereavement? And they're pretty much self-appointed out of the WMU, and they don't have a name or not a title. They don't switch off anything anytime. Okay. All right, the second item of Jerusalem missions is our food bank. Now, where does that money come from? We have communion 4 times a year, and we have a love offering that's taken up at the back. Half goes to World Hunger, and half goes to our local food bank. That money has accumulated. I couldn't tell you how much is in it. But from time to time, I will call up Miss Rosetta. There used to be 2 people on it, but Mary Joyce passed away. So now Rosetta, working under the WMU. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for these ladies, we'd all be stunk, you know. They just do tremendous work, and they make sure all of these things get taken care of. So under the guise of the WMU, Miss Rosetta Staley operates the food bank. She takes money out of the whatever's allotted there, out of whatever's available, and she will go to the store and she will buy $40 worth of groceries for a family. And she does it based on the family's needs. If it's an individual, she knows what to buy. If she's got children, she knows what to buy. And any time that you know anybody in the community that has a need, all you have to do is come to me or Rosetta and tell them. You will have to give a name, but that name never goes any further than Rosetta. She knows that in case she's asked, who did you buy this food for? Now, I use these people, excuse the pun, religiously. I use them all the time. I know she's made at least 6 or 7 food boxes for me this year to deliver to individuals, okay? So it's there, it's available, it's the food bank, it's the community that are driven for anybody in our community that has a need. Now, while I'm talking about that, how many of y'all are aware of churches who have kind of set up a little booth outside of their doors where people can come and put non-perishable foods in, and anybody ever needs them, they can come and take out? Y'all familiar with that? There are churches that do that. I think Cornerstone in Bamberg has one. It's just a little box, it's just a little cubicle about the size of that half pew back there. And people contribute to it, and then if anybody is never locked, anybody can come in and take out of it. That would be a good idea for us to look into. But anyway, feeding the hungry is something that we ought to be about, and that's what our food bank is. Any questions about that? All right, the third ministry in Jerusalem is the benevolent committee. It operates under the deacons. Now, how do they get their money? They get their money 2 ways. I think this year there was $1,000 budgeted, but usually it's somewhere between $5,000 and $1,000. And people contribute to it. It is there for anybody that has a need whatsoever. They're burned out of their home, they have sickness, there's a funeral expense, light bill, anything that falls under the umbrella of a need. If a deacon's aware of it, or you make a deacon aware of it, that it's brought up, and they decide how much exactly to give. Now, when we first came here, the $500 is pretty much gone by the end of the year if you pay somebody's light bill and help somebody who is sick. So throughout the years, people have been giving to this benevolent committee. It operates totally under the deacons at their discretion. It's not showing up anywhere except somebody signs a paper of the chairman of the deacons and he gives Maria, and she writes the check to that person, and that's all it's done. $500 or $1,000 doesn't go that far. So throughout the years, people have been given to this. Now, it's down, I think, to about $1,500 right now. But at one time, it was several $1,000s. Again, if there is a mission or a fund in our church that is operating, you can give to it. And many times people will just circle missions and they'll put their bereavement and they'll put the amount and it goes into the bereavement committee to be used by the deacons. At one time it was up to $6,000. I will tell you that the money that is budgeted never goes far enough. And whatever we have, we use to help people in need. Okay? Any questions about that? I think this is one of the most tremendous things we do because we help so many people in so many ways. We pay people's funerals and done all kinds of things. Okay. All right, the fourth thing is the mission committee. Now, did you pass those out? Okay, give me one of them. We went over this last night, or last time I went over her. Now I want to see you a copy of it. What is the missions committee? Well, the missions committee is a committee that's elected by our church, who, under discretion, gives to any mission that needs to be funded in any way. Now, when you see the list, you will find out that that's true. I am very delighted with the way that the missions committee operates. I think Ms. Felicia has done a tremendous job in getting it up and running and doing a good job. Again, the way they get the money is two ways. The money that comes into the golf tournament goes into the mission committee, and then people give. They will say, well, I've already met my regular tithe and offering, I'm going to give to the missions committee, so they just say missions committee, and they give. Now, at one time, we were up to $8,000 in that. I trust and pray that we never get to the place that we feel like we have to sit on that money because we're supposed to use it for the glory of God, okay? And when you get this list, you will see how it's been given out, donated, and I think it's been used very wisely. But again, two ways they get their money. The golf tournament every year, one fundraiser, and then anybody individually giving to this fund on a regular offering envelope on a Sunday, okay? All right, you will see in front of you a 2019 mission project. In January, I'm not interested in amounts. I know they give liberally, and sometimes it's brought to the church. If it's over 200, it's supposed to be brought to the church. So they gave to the Samaritan's Purse. This was to help probably storm victims. They gave it to the American Heart Association. I don't know what they donated. One of the young men that grew up in our church took a mission trip to the Dominican Republic. And that man's name was Mike Holbert. Not Mark, but Mike Holbert. And it was given to him to help. I don't know how much they gave. I will tell you that in 2018, they paid the entire way for John Rivenbark to go to Haiti, which was $800. Then in May and June, South Carolina State Food Drive for Children After School Packs, they donated to that. In June, they helped with the Family Fun Day, and any way they could with donations and money given. Then July, funded one child to go to summer camp at Camp Levita. Gave to the Jamaican donation for Mission Church needs. And that money was taken by our own Miss Harriet overseas. You remember how much you took, Harriet, this year?
From our church, you mean?
Yes.
From our church, I think 250 was donated.
No one gave you individual gifts? I know they did that one year. You just had the $250.
I believe to give to the Jamaican Welfare Fund that we give to in
Just
Jamaica.
the $250.
I believe that's what
Okay,
it
all right.
was.
Okay. Very good. Then August, backpacks for needy school children. And all of these were donated to, and these projects were by our church, and basically was run by the WVU. So there was more contributed than what the mission committee did, but these are the things they gave to. Then the Dash Bronze sponsorship, $250. The golf tournament support with that, which raised $1,044. The Janie Chapman State Petition, which was $1,800 something this year. Is that what it was called? Okay. Then in October, Global Hunger Bread Bank's collection, and we don't have a figure on that, but we know we gave substantial. And then the prisoner packs. Now, some of these overlap. Some of these are North American missions, and some of them are international missions. But that's what we've given to. And then July, November, West Virginia food items collected monthly. And I will also tell you at the end of November, I will ask for a check for gas money. I have 16 vehicles, and I try to distribute to the ones that go to our church gas money, and they always give me $200 to help with that. And they've also graciously allowed the $1,044 to be used this year to buy food and to help with the West Virginia trip. Any questions about that? Any comments?
Whenever we give to the Janie Chapman fund, it goes through the mission
No,
committee?
it goes directly to the state.
No, I'm talking about, we have Janie Chapman offering.
Correct.
So we give to the Janie Chapman offering, it goes to the mission committee.
No. It goes, it's a separate fund that is taken up, and that $1,800 is sent to the state mission.
So the Janie Chapman offering that the church gives is separate from the money coming from the mission committee.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That 1,800 came from the church, all that had come from the mission.
Yeah, those are two separate things. Okay, this mission committee covers all the mission activities that we have. Okay, but the Janie Chapman is specifically to do state mission, and it stays in the states. And when we get to the state missions, I'm going to go over how the Janie Chapman offering is spent.
That's not what I'm getting at.
Okay.
All right, whenever I fill out my envelope, whenever we're doing the Janie Chapman offering, and I put the envelope in the offering plate, what happens to it?
It goes in a fund for Janie Chapman, and in the month I write a check.
All right, so
Mission
if we
committee.
set a goal for $2,000 and the church raises $2,000 or more, or less, whatever, and then the mission committee kicks in another $1,800.
They be sponsored, Bruce, that's just something they promote, we promote it from gifts from the church, people that put money in there.
As far as I know, you do not contribute any money.
Yes,
Correct.
No, not correct.
Correct. That's just one of the things that they
Promote.
There's no money given for the mission committee to the Janie Chapman. Now, next week, hopefully, I'm going to address not totally, but basically, most of my time will be spent talking about what the Janie Chapman offering is used for. A lot of it goes to new works, but it stays within the state. A lot of it is made available to the association. If there's new works that are started within our state, they can get that money, okay? That's basically what the Janie Chapman offering goes for. To help create new works and create new ministries.
Well, why is the Lottie Moon and these other ones not listed under the missions committee?
I don't know.
Andy Armstrong's
Annie Armstrong's up there in April.
Yeah, Annie Armstrong's up there.
Lottie Moon's in December.
But it's not totally just, I know the missions committee too, but it's not totally through the missions committee. The Baptist women strongly support and put our efforts forward to collect that money. And it's part of the missions committee, but Baptist women also.
Yeah. All right, let me go on. I'm getting behind. I want to get through this tonight because I do want to get to Janie Chapman next week. We'll try to answer all your questions concerning that next week, okay? Number 5 is Men on Mission. They are involved in a ramp ministry that Jack mentioned to you the other night. If there's anybody that ever has a need of a ramp, they have them available. I think they have 3, all of them out now, Jack. Have one that's available, 2 of them are being used. Okay? Huh? We got 4, okay. Very good. Now, where do they get their money? Again, people donate, and they have one fundraiser per year, which is usually a barbecue. Now, we haven't had one this year. I've talked to Daniel. He may be going to do something in November about that, but it usually grosses about $1,000 that will totally go into the men's mission, okay? And that money is used in any need, and a lot of times they'll support the WNU projects. They'll give to certain things. They'll give $50 here, $50 there to help out. But that's basically what our men on missions are involved in. We don't meet regular, and again, the women put us to shame in what they do. But they do have an outreach, and so I'm proud of that, okay? Now, let me mention some outreach programs. I've got 6 minutes, so I've got to hurry. Our crisis prayer chain is an outreach. It's headed up by Miss Donna Reed. If there's ever a prayer request in the community, if you get it to Donna Reed, she will make phone calls, and then she will send text to 2 people, Maria Craby and Sandy Hooker. And from that, the names go throughout everyone whose name is on our list. We usually redo that every year, and I don't know, but if you want your name added to the prayer crisis prayer chain, all you got to do is see Donna, Maria, or Sandy, if they can add your name, okay? It doesn't need any money to operate, okay? Bus ministry, it is budgeted. And I think those that work with it, which is Harry and Tommy and Roxanne, does a tremendous job for that. Outreach programs, our Bible school, that's budgeted also. And its goal is to reach children with the gospel of Jesus Christ. I think it's been very successful. The Fall Festival is an outreach. Now, we don't have any evangelistic emphasis, but we are interested in reaching out and meeting new families and getting them in the door to get them to church. Family Fun Day is something that was instigated by John Ribbenthal. It was a huge success last year. We're going to do it this year. We're going to use it as a guise to register people for Bible school, and it will be held the week prior to Bible school. And I think it's going to be June 14th or around that time. The other outreach program was started 3 years ago, and it's called our Tent Revival. It came about, well, let me go back. How's the Fall Festival funded? Donations and givens by the Missions Committee. Family Fun Day, the same. Tent Revival. 4 churches got together and decided that we wanted to start a tent ministry in the Orangeburg area. It's been very successful. We've gone to 3 different locations. We've gone to Fellowship, we've gone to Gethsemane, and we've gone to Revlon. Our goal is twofold: to strengthen the local congregations and to evangelize the area. We have a big tent, had 300 seats, and we will have an average over 270 every night. Okay? Now, where does the funding come from that? 4 churches donate $800 apiece, and we usually take that out of the fall revival money that we have set aside. We buy the tent, and then we take up a love offering every night and to support the singers and the preacher. And this past year, we had 270 every night. We took up around $5,000 to be distributed to the workers. And also, we had around 20 professions of faith. It was a very, very successful thing, and we're praying about what to do this coming year. Any questions on any of those?
Did you say you buy the tent?
Huh?
Did you say you buy the tent?
Rent the tent. Rent the tent from Ruth's house. Have you ever heard of Ruth's house? You can rent any size, and the rental of the tent is $3,200 for a week.
You said you buy the tent. That's
So I said, buy it.
Yeah.
Hey, at the rate we're going, we might all buy one, but no, we rent the tent and the chair. That's all they provide. Okay. All right. The last one is something that's very important. I want to take a few minutes on this. I really wanted to get to this. It is our association. Now, how many of you are up to snuff about what our association is about? Raise your hand. I just want to see the hands. Whew. That's what I kind of figured. All right. The Baptist Association is a group of local Southern Baptist churches that come together to do mission work. We have 2 workers that we support, which is a director of mission and a ministry assistant, which basically is a secretary. Okay? They work in the office 2 days a week. Richard stays the odd days, but usually the secretary is there 2 days a week. Okay? They get their money by the donations that is given by the churches. Our church contributes $2,000 a year. Okay? Now, what are the ministries of the association. We have 39 churches and we have one new work. This new work was just created. It came out of Santee Fellowship of Praise. They chartered membership or fill out an application for charter membership into our association. And they are just a mission, and they are meeting somewhere down around Utahville. So we have one new work, 39 churches. We used to have 40, but unfortunately Norway Baptist, after 150 years in existence, closed their doors and had their last service this past June. What does Director of Missions do? Well, first of all, he does not direct missions. He is more or less an association missionary. He fills the pulpit. He intervenes whenever there's a crisis in the church. Now, can you imagine churches being in crisis? I promise you it happens all the time, and there's a lot of things that goes on that needs intervention by an outside person. That's what he does. He helps pastors find employment. He helps churches find pastors, okay? There used to be a time when I first started 44 years ago when everything started from the top, the convention, and worked down to the association. However, in the last 10 to 15 years, all that has changed. Now, everything starts with the church to the association, and it goes up to the state convention, to the national convention. It works from the small to the large. Now, if you would ever visit our Baptist building, you would find out why that's needed. It's almost like a ghost town. We have so many empty rooms up there. We don't have money to fill the jobs of the people that's needed to fill those spaces, so they take on 2 or 3 jobs. But that's not so bad because the association is very strong in what it's done. The association basically, in my understanding, just creates the continuity among the churches. We're Southern Baptist churches. I told you what they do. But we have a continuity that keeps us together and keeps us focused in our mission of reaching people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And from that, we launch out into the whole world with the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's basically what the association does. Does anybody have any questions on that? None? Okay. We send messengers twice a year to the meetings, and we'll be going tomorrow night to find out what's going on in our association. And I just told you I will be plugging 3 things to help. They help tremendously with our West Virginia trip. That is an associational thing, and they've been very involved in it. And we want to try to get them on board with a lot of other stuff, DAS and the tent revival, okay? So anyway, that concludes my understanding of all that we do globally. That's our Jerusalem. I think it's heavy-handed. I think we do tremendous work for the size church we are. I'm not sure that we do a good job in the money flow department. But hey, it works. I mean, we have a need, let's just go to the WMU and hey, give us some money. But really remarkable, $2 a month they collect, and it just culminates and culminates, and they help out in a lot of areas. So anyway, that's it. Roselle.
I just wanted to add to that, this is regional mission. We do a separate mission every month.
Correct. They pick out, and y'all get what, $25 to $50 for a mission every month? What did y'all do last month? Do you remember? Shoeboxes, okay. So that's part of the West Virginia thing.
So we did like 3 houses, and another one, one something.
Keep up the good work.
Okay,
So there's some areas that we have need in, and some areas that are doing very good. Yes, Ms. Harriet?
Change the Chapman off and two, then out of balance fund.
If we don't do a mission and use that as our mission for that month.
All right, next time we get together, we're going into Judea. Our Judea is our state. And I'm going to try to give you detail of exactly how the Janie Chapman offering is divided throughout our state and what they do and how they do it and who they give to. And then from that, we'll go to the North American missions and what that money is used for and our involvement. We do have involvements. And always remember, we enter worship and we depart to serve. We leave this place, we come, we receive strength, we receive Christian education, and then we go out into the world to be a missionary. Every Christian is a missionary, and every place you go is a mission field. And we must carry out the Acts 1:8 ultimatum, which is go ye and over time,